programming on C10.
So, would you classify your sound?
Electronic ...
Fill in the blank?
Yeah, after you listen, you can make up your own category and put it in the file or whatever. It's up to you. It's usually you're always running into the problem where somebody says, "What's your music like?" And you have to give them some sort of thing. But I think if you do say something like electronic ...
Well, maybe it shouldn't even be in a category. Just
sort of an anarchistic approach to music, except some of the songs are a lot more accessible.
Couldn't it be put in that whole catch-all phase of electropop?
Well, if somebody starts to like it, then it becomes popular, I guess. But it just, the simple category of electronic-generated sounds rather than acoustic strings and percussion seems to fit.
What makes your music different from regular AM rock and roll?
Partly the sound. It's becoming harder and harder to get different when electronic groups are becoming popular on the radio and are being more and more available on the radio and stuff. But the way that you approach it and the attitude that you have behind it is going to make a big difference in what kind of sound is coming out from the band. But
I think that if we had a record or something like that, and you classified it as electropop, and they, were expecting Human League, they'd be sort of shocked when they heard us.
Yours has to be the band with the fewest working musicians. You have 2 people working on keyboards and 1 singer. Now, how do you produce your sound to make it sound like a full band?
well, two of the synthesizers we have, this is an example, the Pro 1 and the other one, which we've called the Pro 2, because we have two of them and we need to distinguish them, have sequencers. So I can go downstairs and I can make a song by myself using two sequencers together, and then the other two synthesizers, the Korg and the Roland, have arpeggiators, and I can use those and just basically make a song, and that's how we work together with only two musicians. And we also have a rhythm machine, which we don't need to pay, and
You don't have to pay for a drummer or put up with any smart remarks. Or
easy to
like
carry
we
around.
just program it ourselves and turn it on.
Yeah.
And it makes
Don't you find
noises.
sometimes the rhythm maker is very static? And isn't as flexible as a human
We were
being?
told just a little while ago that for younger musicians, and especially starting out musicians, a drum box is a real benefit to help you keep time, and it's one of the harder things in music to keep steady with young musicians. Also, I think we enjoy that staticness and that electronic type beats rather than an acoustic or a real person. Also, we want to try and be away from standard type arrangements.
Why?
And because it's already been done, and I think that's what we are trying to do. I don't know if we're succeeding, but if you start out by using some of the instruments that are not standard, you're already one step closer to being a little bit farther away from the center of the spectrum.
Do you have some gripes against regular rock and roll?
Well, it hurts to it hurts to keep hearing it on the radio and keep hearing a lot of people praise it and worship it and God like it when it really is.
It's the same sound for the last 20 years, so we felt it's about time somebody comes along and does something different.
Well, isn't anybody doing something different?
Oh yeah, they're doing lots, but it would be nice if somebody, to try and start up and have a different approach or a different stand on it. We hope that we are giving a different view on a young band.
Don't you like guitars?
For the most part, no, not at all.
I like them when I can change the guitar to sound like just a wailing thing,
Like
a noisemaker with effects and things like that. And we've never used it in our music, but I'd like to sometime, just to make noises with it, but not to use it for...
thoughts are what we fear. Death in everything we hear. If it hurts, then will it show? Tell me what I have to know. Have you ever been cheated before? Have you ever been cheated before? She paints the nails, the blood from my hands. I don't know what we're destroying to gain. Frustrated and thoughts are what we fear. Death in everything we hear. If it hurts, will it show? Tell me what I have to know. Have you ever been cheated before? Have you ever been cheated before? She thinks that there's blood from my hands. I don't know what we're destroying to gain. One night I'll kill them, you know it's only skin. One night it's over, do you believe in everything? Do you believe in everything? Have you ever been cheated before? Do you believe in everything?
To who are you aiming your sound to? Like, what is your audience like?
I think we're trying to give a message to some of the people, but not a message like, you know, the usual cliched, well, the government's awful.
Horrible people.
Life is
anything
awful.
like that.
And we're all
That
depressed.
is what's happening basically with, this is what I think is happening with a lot of people, is that you have to give a direct image and a direct message behind all of your music that seems to be important, and it seems to be a real image catcher now. Well, you can't decide whether you're supposed to be happy, outlook on
or
life,
depressed.
entertainment, dance beat, or to be depressed and observing people's qualities.
You know, like it'd be nice if you can make your music fun to listen to, but we don't want to go out and sing good time songs either. You know, we're not going out and saying, okay, come on guys, let's dance. We don't have songs where we repeat the word dance over and over again and stuff like that. You know.
Would you have a major theme to any of your writing?
Yeah.
Well, what would that be?
Well, when I write my songs and stuff, it's mostly because of the people I meet. You know, some of them are stuff I read in the paper, and that, you know, it all sounds so typical. It's hard to come out and say, oh, I write songs that are better than everybody else's, because everybody has basically the same influences. You know, there's only so many things that you can read and see that you can write because of. But it all depends on the way you say it and the music that you're doing it with. And I feel that the kind of lyrics that I'm writing and the music we're doing with is different than the way somebody else would do it. I don't think that they'd use this kind of music. And we sort of have this
Yeah, but what's the theme?
The theme is sort of an outlook of you know, destruction in the world, and we're sort of going down with it, but we're sort of making it a part of us. Like when we play and stuff, we have you know, we're pretty catastrophic when we're playing, and we're not saying, you know, oh, we hate it, we're embarrassed by it, because the Krieg was a mess, but we were still happy with what happened.
You can't just say, well, that's the theme, because there's so many things that we're trying to do. We're just trying to talk about social commentary, and human nature is mostly important in our music.
Very psychological.
And we're also trying to, some of our stuff is quite sarcastic, and maybe subtle insult to the audience that we're playing for. Well,
Why
that's
would
what
you
we're
wanna-
trying to get at.
Why would you want to insult your audience?
Well, because this is Edmonton, and
There's a delightful little phrase or word that the media love to use, and it's called punk. And I'm sure you've lived with that word for a while. What does it really mean to you? Like, would you apply it to yourselves in any way?
when it's
Well,
walking down the street.
yeah.
The word has so many connotations that you cannot properly. Sorry, I'm not the kind of people that use the big words and grasp for them all evening and waste all the time. But it's so hard to use so many of the words without each person getting a different meaning, and you just cannot use words like punk anymore without every single person in the room getting a different idea.
You know, punk is supposed to have no definitions and no boundaries, and yet people always are giving it boundaries, so then, you know, it's not punk, it's a completely contradictory statement.
Bullshit image is spinning in black sunlight. I hold in my hands and then it takes a bite. Elephant skin of a heart and kiss or crush the beer. Soul burns through our grip, through our grip. My hands reach down to my waist. I feel something holding wet. Protect the skin, reach up to the sky and as the fingers touch the cloud, I see his eyes. Screaming fire, stay on outside. Screaming fire, hold on. My low, and the scales of my skin begin to grow. The veins on my hands are turning blue. Colors fade into black sunlight. Screaming fire, the bloody mess, and then the light, the tortured flame. The black sunlight. The tortured flame fades into black sunlight. Screaming fire! Screaming fire! Sing! Hold on tight! Screaming fire!
Are there any artists that you keep on going back to and buying more than one of their albums?
Oh, yeah, mostly electronic bands that are like in the top 10 of all electronic bands. You know, like Kraftwerk and Soft Cell and Yellow.
Are you trying to educate that viewing audience or that listening audience?
Well, just make them aware of some of the things that we wish that everybody was.
Are you aware that the audience is actually listening to the lyrics? Do you think they are that attentive?
I hope so.
It would be nice, but I don't believe that. I don't. It's wishful thinking if you think that every listener out there is listening to it. No, I think you've got to do it more devious. You've got to lead a simple mind with a simple hook, a melodic hook, and get him into a little more of a. Then you've got him by the.
Yeah.
What was with the shaving
Can't
cream
wait
in
to
one of the
see
Krieg
that.
performances?
Well, for one thing, this is the first idea that I've actually not really stolen from somebody, but it was influenced by somebody, Fad Gadget, who I listen to, does it all the time on stage. And I saw it and I thought, wouldn't this be great to bring this to Edmonton, and have people in Edmonton react to it. I mean, in England, it's interesting to them, but here I thought it would be quite a lot more. And of course, we didn't get the reaction we wanted.
What was the reaction you wanted?
It was not quite shock, but just a different image to look at. Something different, just a blob of this white massive person. It's just better than the makeup ideas. And instead we've got people thinking that it was plasmatics and, oh, take it all off and all this stuff. I got these people, do a strip show, and then I got a bunch of pretty
that's what I
graphic
don't. Okay, one of the things that I do not like about the Edmonton scene is I think they are scared of stepping out of the norm because they could be ridiculed. Well, I don't care about ridicule. I would rather go out and give your all and try to be really, really different and fail than to play it and safe and say, well, gee, somebody's not going to like this, or we're making fools of ourselves. Let's not, and play it safe. I'd rather, just go all out and be a fool to them, either a fool or really, I guess.
Do what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the underground
let them see
scene
that we're trying
here, even though it's underground, is still very straight. They've all got their set rules, You can only go so far even in the underground scene. Just to some normal person, it would be...
May not be new, but it was new to us, and possibly new to Edmonton. I'm not sure if anyone has tried that, but it worked well for us because we had to do our synthesizers, and we're screwing around with buttons and things, and the tape recorder, and we're not too I mean, I don't know, maybe people like seeing the band, but we do a lot backstage, like moving around, looking through patches, and we just thought that the screen,
standing there,
it might help to have him as the focal.
Yeah, like why does everybody have to see people play? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it would be nice if the sound that you produced was not gathered and put on stage by the actual way that it was produced. In other words, how you get your sound and how it is actually produced when you make it and give it to the audience may be boring.
Yeah.
And if you can give an alternative way, like a representation of how it was produced, maybe the audience will be more pleased with that.
We would like to get, sort of like I said, break ground and get the other new listeners in. But I don't know how many more we can really get, I mean, we could count, I could name every person that usually comes to see us, it's the same people over and over again. We'd like to go somewhere and see if we could get a larger audience.
How do you reach a new audience?
Well, whatever media is going on, this is probably going to help.
A lot.
I'm sure. We really haven't had had the time yet to test what is the audience and how we're going to do, and it just hasn't happened yet. We're still in the infancy, and I think we're taking our time a lot.
Happens and nothing will be done. you might think. The only flow I've under control is the molecules I've been told. I want to keep moving, not question my life, but I'm afraid that I must miss all familiar sights. I want to keep moving and not question my life, but I'm afraid we all must face old familiar sights. I want something to say that I hope you'll understand, but not many will face up to deviation and a plan.
This is community programming on C10.